Hello, mixtresses and mixters. This is Mixtress Ray. You're watching Mixtra's video. The familiar creak of me suddenly remembering I need to close the door to my closet. So we're doing a pick-a-pile reading today. And I am choosing right now an oil to anoint this little skull candle with. You know what I haven't used in a while? This is Black Phoenix Alchemy Lab perfume called Voodoo. This one has like pine, eucalyptus, clove. It might not have eucalyptus. Pine, clove, cherry, almond. It's got all kinds of great stuff in it. There we go. Got a good drop going down the side here. This is like a really great ritual oil. So, get some of the eye sockets here. My intention for this ritual, okay, so this is for anybody that wants a shift, that wants a change, that wants to start feeling like back to themselves again, but also they need an evolution. Like, if you really want a transformation this fall, this is the reading for you. So essentially what we're working with here, you can pick based on the imagery, if you would like. This is a Lay Vampire Oracle, or you can pick based on the words on each card, or you can pick based on the tarot deck that each one is associated with. Or just the general energy of, okay, so pile one, your choice is enlightenment, inspiration, epiphany, innovation. And this is the Tarot of Vampires pile. So if your path into transformation this fall, if you want to be kind of illuminated to the truth of the situation and have that inspire you to move on, your pile number 2 is hope, anticipation, bright prospects, and wish. If you just kind of want, this one's a little bit less self-driven. If you just want to have a little spark of hope back in your life. And this is Dark Angels Tarot. Pile number 3 is resurrection, reprise, recovery, and comeback. Not only do you want to transform internally, but you want to like show up as the bad bitch, you know, like Cordelia, whenever she was like pretending to be okay after the whole rebar through the whole impaling / Xander cheating on her situation. If you know Buffy, this is that. You want to come back as the bad bitch. You want to rise from the ashes. Like, this is very, like, vengeful resurrection, almost. And this is with, well, I guess you can't tell by looking at the bag, but it's Dark Wood Tarot. Okay, let us. My camera, okay, so just in case, like, this video cuts off, like, mid-sentence, my camera seems to be shutting down after, like, 45 minutes. Which means I got to keep this a little bit short and sweet. I'm going to use my purple hibiscus essence to spray around. It's also infused with another Black Phoenix Alchemy Lab perfume that does have pine and eucalyptus in it. That's what I was thinking of, that had eucalyptus. Okay, let's burn some incense too, shall we? I think we need a bit of a cleansing here, so I'm going to use clove. Okay, I am going to light this candle now and the incense with the intention of, we need to, you know, support of our transformation. We are transforming, and we need support for that, and we need to know exactly what we need to do to support our own transformation. You know, what parts of it we need to be involved in, who we need to surround ourselves with to support our transition, who who we need to let go of that aren't supporting us, all that shit, right? Okay, let's do it. Pause now if you would like to set your own intention, or if you need a little bit longer to decide which pile you want. Again, we have pile 1 is enlightenment, pile 2 is hope, pile 3 is resurrection. Pile 1 is tarot of vampires, pile 2 is dark angels, pile 3 is dark wood tarot. Also, you could view it as pile 1 is vampires, pile 2 is angels, pile 3 is witches. Okay. Okay. I'm going to set the little incense burner over here. And probably actually set the candle a little off to the side as well, as long as we can still see it. Okay. Let us start with pile 1. I have not shuffled the tarot cards yet, but the oracle cards have been pre-chosen for each pile. So let's just start with the oracle before we start shuffling the tarot. So we already have enlightenment, as you've seen. Enlightenment, inspiration, epiphany, and innovation. We have a bird from the Feathered Omens deck, woodpecker, new rhythm is developing. This is my Mixtress oracle. This is not available anywhere. It's just, I just use it for myself and for you right now. Island by Heather Nova. So this is, let's just go ahead and explain this. This is a person that has been through a really abusive relationship. So here are the lyrics that I wrote on this particular card. Pretend I'm crazy, pretend I'm dreaming. He's too scared to hit me now, he'll bring flowers instead. I need an island, somewhere to sink a stone. I need an island, somewhere to bury you, somewhere to go. You know that dream where your feet won't move? He steals it from me. He fucks with the beauty, a kiss, a kick, a kiss, a kick. So this is someone that's been through a lot, and I suspect that all of us that are drawn to this reading in general have been through a lot. And then this is just Vintage Wisdom Oracle. For some reason that sounds wrong, and I don't have the box anymore, so I don't know. Thought. So this is something that, like, if you were looking for an enlightenment, if you picked this pile and you're looking for an enlightenment, your enlightenment is likely going to come in the form of an actual, like, idea, a new way of thinking, a new way of viewing the world, learning to trust again, even. And then from Magic and Medicine of Plants Oracle, you got Juniper, Banishment. Get out of my house. This is kind of another song reference, because this is based on, the Get Out of My House is based on a Kate Bush song. And it is the song that I use if I'm cleansing a space. It is very primal, sort of like donkey screams. And I kind of want to straighten this because it's just gonna bug me that those cards look like they're veering off to the side. Is that better? a little bit? Okay. So this is, you are in a situation that you need to get out of, or there's a person in your life that you need to cast aside. And this person's going to reveal themselves if they haven't already. This is someone that's already in your life, and this person is going to reveal themselves as someone that you cannot trust soon. New rhythm is developing, so just pay attention to what shows up right now as far as, you know, pay attention to your instincts about a person. If there's somebody new in your life and everybody else seems to like them, but you don't, there might be a reason for that. You know, it might be butting up against some past traumas for you. And if there's already someone, something, some job, some situation in your life that you already know you need to banish, go ahead and do that. If there's a recent discovery in your life that has led you to realize that the situation that you're in with a particular person, if you've already been enlightened to the truth about either this individual, this job, this situation, this could be a living situation, you know, could be any number of things. Because life is any number of things, right? And this reading will be for multiple different people, so it's not going to be extremely specific. I won't be able to be extremely specific. Okay, what does Tarot Vampires have to say about our enlightenment, banishment, this new rhythm that's developing? Woo-hoo. Okay, I don't know exactly how many cards I want to pick. This one possibly just came out. Yeah, that one came out upside down. I don't normally take reversals unless they just pop out that way. So maybe one more. One more card. Okay. All right. Let's do this. Okay. So, what more do we need to know about this situation and how you can transform yourself and move with this new rhythm? Because I get the feeling like instinctually you know exactly what you need to do. You know exactly who to trust. You know exactly what or who needs to be banished. You already know. And if you sit with yourself, because we are still in Two of Swords time, if you sit with yourself and your own thoughts, you will know exactly what the answers are for you. So we have Six of Grails / Six of Cups, Five of Knives / Five of Swords, Five of Grails / Five of Cups, Four of Knives / Four of Swords. So we're like cup, sword, sword. And then we have Lord of Skulls reversed. So / Knight of Pentacles reversed. So Knight of Pentacles reversed tells me that whatever change you need to make, take it slow. Don't rush in if you're thinking, well, I want this new job, and I got to do it now. Like, if you have this sort of sense of urgency about the changes that you need to make in your life, you have more time than you think. That's what that is saying to me. You have more time than you think. It's going to be okay with that. Now, let's see. The rest of this, I mean, it's a lot of, having 2 5s here tells me that, you know, it's been a lot of conflict. It's been a lot of strife. There's been a lot of opposition. You already know this. You might be in and out of depression and self-sabotage. You could even be in a phase of really isolating yourself, because it's hard to, I know for me personally, as far as like, I have a lot of trust issues. And as far as like, it's sometimes really hard to figure out who actually needs to be banished and how much of what I'm doing to protect myself is actually me isolating myself from others. It's a hard line to walk, and it's like every time you realize that there is someone in your life that you can't trust, it's like, yep, exactly. This is why I should not reach out to people. This is why I should not open up to people. You know, it's like this self-fulfilling prophecy shit. So this is something that we're still learning. This is something that's going to take more time than we would like it to. You know, we want to just be able to, you know, snap our fingers and figure things out. We think that as soon as we know the truth, we know exactly how we feel, that we can instantly, like, lay out everything, set up everything in our lives to go forward with that new knowledge. It's like, just because you now have a word for what you're going through, like, for example, you know, when I first found out I was autistic, such a huge enlightenment epiphany moment for me. Like, all of these things about who I am suddenly came into focus. It was like, oh, that's why I'm like that. Oh, that's why I do it like that. That's why I need subtitles every time I watch something. That's because I have auditory processing disorder as well. You know, like, having a name for things is really cool and it's really important to the process. But that doesn't mean that the work is done just because we have the information, right? So whatever this moment of enlightenment for you is this fall, whatever it is that makes you go, oh, that's why I have this trauma. That's why I'm reacting to this particular situation in this way, because of my upbringing or whatever, because that is this too. I feel like there's some huge trauma in our past. I keep saying our and we because, like, this is also applying to things in my own life, but there's this trauma in your past that, like, you may have the words for it now. Like, maybe you're going to therapy and you have been diagnosed with something, or you have recently found out that you have complex PTSD, CPTSD, because of, like, the way that you grew up. Maybe it's a parental relationship, maybe it's a past boyfriend or girlfriend or other friend. Maybe it's both of those things, and you have a name for these things now of why you don't trust people, why you isolate yourself, why you've dealt with all of this sadness and depression, because when you isolate yourself from others and you don't trust other people, maybe you're protecting yourself from somebody preying upon you, but you're also not engaging with the world, and so your isolation leads to loneliness and depression. I haven't even dealt with this Four of Knives yet. How does that fit in? Again, I think this just sort of reinforces this reverse Lord of Skulls, this reverse Knight of Pentacles, because it's like now that we feel like we have the answers, we want things to just, like, work out quickly, and they're not going to. So this just, you know, is a reminder to take a moment before you send that email just laying it all out there with a person and letting them know exactly how they fucked you over. Maybe don't give them that satisfaction, you know? Maybe just give it a minute. For me, I have to give it a minute with everything right now. You know, ranging from something so mundane as, like, creating an order on a website. It's like, okay, I know I want to buy some things from this website, and I have the tendency to just, like, go completely overboard, like as if I'm never going to order anything from a website ever again. It's just like, I need to get all the things that I want to get from this place. I need to look at every single thing that they have to offer, and I need to know exactly what the best possible things that I could order from them are, and I need to order all the things at once, because I may never order from them again. Like, no, I don't need to order all the things at once. I can put things in a wish list and then let it simmer. This is like the let it simmer card in this. Like, whatever it is that you're thinking, like, yes, there are people you need to banish, but maybe at home, just go ahead and do like some spells and some journaling and some cleansing rituals and some protection rituals for yourself, on yourself, before you turn it to someone else, you know? And maybe that's even what this Five of Knives is here for too. It's like, yes, you might have trust issues, you might be isolating yourself, but also part of that is you have to trust yourself. You have to answer your own questions. You have to sit within your own thoughts. And you have to kind of go with the flow right now. Also, I feel like this new rhythm is developing, and the Lord of Skulls reversed and the Four of Swords is all just kind of saying, you got to take it slower than you want to. There's not a lot you can actually do right now. You kind of have to like ride the wave and figure out what's happening before you can make a move. But don't let anyone take away from you if there is like a new diagnosis in your life, new realizations about what is happening, like a name for the trauma that you went through as a child. Like, don't let anyone tell you, because I know, like, again, I'm relating this to my autism, but I remember when I first started telling people when I got diagnosed, I was so happy and I was telling people, I'm autistic, guys, you know, and they would be like, well, I don't see you that way. I don't think you need to label yourself like that. And it was coming from a good place when my friends and family were saying things like that, but it was incredibly invalidating to me. And this is also something, this invalidation, I feel like, is something that you are dealing with as well. You can validate yourself. You don't need anyone else to reinforce your reality. You know what's true. And sometimes that's hard when everybody around you is kind of disagreeing with your viewpoint, when it's like, no, but I know. I know who's trustworthy and who isn't. I know what's going on. I know how this relates to my past. I know what's happening here. And someone else doesn't have to see it. And you don't have to tell other people it. You could take it to, who is it? Robin Seaborn is a YouTuber that I really like that does a lot of readings on her channel. And she says, take it to your altar. Take it to your altar. You don't have to display your thoughts to anyone else right now. And in fact, it's probably a good idea that you don't. Just take it slow. Take all the changes in your life slow. Take the people in your life that you want to invite in and the people that you want to banish, and take it to your altar. Take it to your journal. Okay, I'm going to stop there because I need to try to keep this short and sweet in case my camera shuts down. Again, I don't know if it's overheating because it's not actually hot today, so it shouldn't overheat today, so it might be fine. I mean, you can see if this video is longer than 45 minutes, then my camera's doing okay today. Okay. Pile 2. Oh shit, which one was pile 2? I think it was this one. Hope. So we have hope, anticipation, bright prospects, and wish. Your song is Suspended in Gaffa by Kate Bush. They've told us unless we can prove that we're doing it, we can't have it all. We can't have it all. This is like an Eight of Swords feeling here. Suddenly my feet are feet of mud. It all goes slow-mo. I don't know why I'm crying. Am I suspended in Gaffa? Gaffa's like electrical tape, I think. Not until I'm ready for you. Can I have it all now? I won't open boxes that I am told not to. I'm not a Pandora. I'm much more like that girl in the mirror who doesn't have a chance of getting anywhere at all. So this is very much like somebody that's very trapped in their own thought processes, very trapped in their sort of cyclical thinking, maybe catastrophic thinking. This is somebody that is not talking to themselves very nicely. And then we have stinging nettle, retract. So this is also, there's like a situation that you're stepping into that you might need to pull back from, or a relationship. There might be a relationship that like, retract for some reason is hitting me like, it's not like you need to end the relationship or break up with the person. It just means like, get a little perspective from the situation. If it's a job, if it's a person, it's almost like you're caught in a trap, and trying to struggle is going to make your restraints worse. So you might even be in an unsafe situation right now where you're going to have to back out slowly, and you're going to have to be sneaky in order to get away. Because stinging nettle is like, it's pokey. It protects itself. And maybe you need to be the stinging nettle where you like give them a little sting so that they don't really want to come near you, but you're not like exploding at them. You know what I mean? And then from Vintage Wisdom, you have adventure. And this is a way to retract from the world too. So I get the feeling from you guys that in order to retract from your situation, you're going to need some perspective on your life in order to figure out how to escape your restraints, your self-imposed restraints on yourself. In order to figure out how to get around your self-imposed restraints on yourself, your catastrophic thinking, your negative self-talk, your anxiety, all that stuff. In order to deal with that, in order to find hope in your life again, you're going to have to go on a trip. You're going to have to give that sense of adventure and joy. In order to bring it back to yourself, you're going to have to go somewhere. I know for me, every time I take a road trip, even if it's like a day trip, and I'm not even spending the night somewhere else, I'm going to be home by the end of the day, it gives me perspective on my life. If I allow myself to reflect while I'm not home, I can usually find the right answers for myself going forward. And I think that's part of this retreat and retract. And then your bird is hummingbird, dreams and new joy within reach. So this particular adventure might not even be, I mean, you could be planning a trip like overseas or something, but I mostly see this adventure as being something closer to home. With this saying new joy within reach, finding that inner joy is actually like, it's a day trip maybe, or it's just not even that. Maybe it's just you have an afternoon off and you go somewhere that's not your normal routine, you know, like say you need to get some work done on a creative project, or like if you work from home kind of thing. Say you choose on this particular day to go to the library to work instead of working from home, instead of working in your environment where you have all the distractions. Or this could be a situation where there's a particular restaurant you like to go to, but it's an hour away. So you decide to make a day of it. And you're just going by yourself maybe. And, or there's like a trail that you've been wanting to try, like walking on. So you pack your dog up in the car and you go and you make a day out of it. And this is, just there needs to be a little change in your routine in order to reintroduce joy in your life. And it will make you feel less trapped, because this like mental this mental prison, that's what I want to say. This mental prison that you've locked yourself in. Once you get just a tiny perspective from your daily routine, take a mental health day from work if you have to, because I'm really seeing this as like a solo adventure. Not necessarily that it has to be. You know, maybe you take your dog. Maybe you take you know, a best friend that this is like the kind of person that you can say whatever you need to say in front of. This isn't a person you have to tiptoe around with your words. This is somebody that you can actually talk shit out with. Again, another reversal. Okay, here we go. All right, we're gonna stop there. So we have the Knight of, or no, this is the Page. The Page of Wands. The Knight of Wands. The Five of Pentacles. The Seven of Pentacles reversed. And the Six of Swords. Again, the Six of Swords, like I normally don't see that as a, like, take a trip kind of card, but since it's reinforcing what I've already said, the more traditional meaning of the Six of Swords being like, go on a trip. Yes, go on a trip. And this could even support, like I was saying, this is going to be a solo trip. If when I said that a second ago, you were like, no, I can't do that. I can't do that. Maybe you don't drive. Or you just really, if that sounds terrifying to you, this is saying, yeah, ignore me, bring whoever you can, but make sure you're bringing someone that you can trust. Make sure you bring someone that has been supportive of you in general, that wants the best for you truly, that you know you can trust. You can take that person. You can take that person. Let's see, what do we have here with the Page and the Knight of Wands? Again, this is just, I feel like this is almost just taking the reins of your life. Whenever you rediscover that joy that is within reach, after this adventure, maybe you'll go on this little adventure. Maybe it's like a 3-day camping trip or something, and you go on this little adventure and you realize some things that you need to change about your life, some ways to break out of your mental prison patterns, how you can retract from the things that you want to retract from, how you can go towards the things that you want, the joy that you want to have more in your life. There's going to be some things that you're going to need to do. And this, the Seven of Pentacles, I see as the sort of like step back and assess your situation kind of card. And the fact that it's reversed tells me that maybe you've been doing a little too much stepping back and assessing, like getting the perspective on your life. It's like you're not going to have to force this realization. You're not going to have to make all the lists. You're not going to have to, or maybe it's not going to be like catastrophic what you need to do. It's gentle. This retraction is gentle. You're not going to have to force the situation a lot. You're going to go on this little adventure. You're going to make some little realizations about little things you can do to implement. And it's going to fall into place. And on those days where it's just like you don't make any progress at all, just be kind to yourself. Because it's a journey. And going to those calmer waters takes time. Healing from what you've been through takes time. And also, hummingbird is an extremely, extremely good omen. Seeing the hummingbird means you're going to, like, happiness is coming. Happiness and hope is coming. That joy will be reclaimed. Like, you might be in this Five of Pentacles space right now, but it's going to dissipate. This sort of feeling of lack, I see this as tied with this as well. This feeling of lack is self-imposed. And that doesn't mean it's easy to get out of. Like self-imposed, like negative self-talk, mental prison shit, like whatever restraints that you've put yourself on, it's not easy to escape that. It's probably the hardest thing to escape it. But at least you know you can do it. You put yourself here so you can escape. You have the ability to do so. The thing that about the Five of Pentacles is that there's hope right there. It's actually right there, within reach. It is within reach. Everything that you want is within reach, but you do have to reach for it. It's not going to be dramatic. Your transformation is not going to look dramatic. Other people might not even notice that you're transforming, but it's going to be a flipping of this. It's going to be like, finally you're free from your restraints. And it could even be a situation, this might not apply to everyone, but it could be a situation where you're actually not in this situation that put you here anymore. So this might even be if you can remind yourself, okay, I'm not with that person anymore that made me feel unsafe. I'm not in that job anymore that made me traumatized. You have more power to change your situation than you think you do. And it's not going to be as hard as you think it's going to be. That's what this reverse Seven of Pentacles is too. It's not going to be as hard as you think it's going to be. Or maybe for some of you, because there's so many different ways to read reversals, which is why I don't do it very often. This could be a reinforcement of the Seven of Pentacles. Maybe you really do need to assess your life. So if you're not spending a lot of time self-reflecting, then this card for you means it's time to self-reflect. It's time to take that shit to your journal. It's time. But for those of you that have been doing that a lot, then this is a message to like ease up on that. You don't have to get everything right. You don't have to make all the exact right decisions all the time. You don't have to know exactly what you're going to do about every single situation before you head into it. You can just follow joy, follow adventure, follow hope. This is just like when you recognize hope, adventure, and joy this fall, just take some steps towards it. All right, pile 3. This is the resurrection pile. Those of y'all that are going to rise from the ashes, reprise, recovery, and comeback. Your song is Army of Me by Björk. Stand up, you've got to manage. I won't sympathize anymore. And if you complain once more, you'll meet an army of me. You're all right. There's nothing wrong. Self-sufficiency, please. This is a very, angry card. This is like the friend of the person in the last pile that's like, dude, I'm sick of hearing you, you're an amazing person. I'm sick of hearing you talk so much shit on yourself. Just fucking do the thing. Just be amazing because you are. Recognize that you're amazing because you are. That kind of thing. It's like frustration. I'm sick of your shit. So if you're around somebody a lot, maybe you have a coworker or a friend or whatever, that's just constantly finding the worst possible way to view a situation, that pessimist person if it's starting to really affect you, I'm not sure exactly how to, because, those people are really, they're really going through it. Of course, you have sympathy for them, but sometimes you have to protect yourself from them as well, which brings us to Clover protection. So if you have been thinking about, what spell can I do for fall? And you don't have to do it on the equinox. You can do it whenever the fuck you want. I got that advice recently from someone. It's if you feel like you want to do a fall equinox ritual on fucking December 18th, fucking do it. That's the time. It doesn't have to be the full moon or the new moon or on the equinox itself or whatever. Don't feel like you missed it. You can do that spell whenever you want. So this is also, this could be kind of a general, like I'm always saying this, but I probably will continue to say it. This might be a general idea of you need to protect yourself from the issues of the world, thoughts and feelings of others. If you feel yourself really getting bogged down by the injustices of the world, and I mean, if it's spurring you to like do shit, like, you know, organize a protest or like, you know, mobilize and get a petition started to get a bill going, or if you're the type of person that like that kind of feeling spurs you into action, then great. If it's not, and if it just paralyzes you, then protect yourself from it. Like, those people exist, and we are so happy that they exist, but not all of us can be an activist, you know? And we have kindred spirits. So for those of y'all out there that are looking for like a romantic relationship, it's going to be a possibility this fall. Also, this is just a reminder, like something that just keeps coming up, like spend more time with the people that you know have your best interest at heart, and spend less time with the people that don't. That's all. You know who those people are for you. You know who makes you feel good when you're around them. You know who you don't feel like you have to explain yourself to. Spend more time with those people. And then your bird from Feathered Omens is pheasant. Time of fertility and creativity. So this is going to be a beautiful time for you. You really are having a comeback, you know? Having a reprise. You're rising from the ashes. Maybe this protection shit has already happened, or maybe this is just if you did some kind of protection spell for yourself recently, this is just saying, yeah, it's working. It's working. And some of that anger that you're feeling is sacred rage, right? Some of it's sacred rage. Fertility and creativity. So I would say whatever ideas that you've had lately of like things that you could do, like ideas that you have for a video series, or ideas that you have for another fucking reversal. Or ideas that you have for like an art project or a new hobby or whatever those are, do it. Do it. Here's your sign. Make it happen. Take steps towards it, especially if it's something that you can do with someone else. For example, this is silly example, but I saw last night there was like, I've been watching mostly listening, because it's usually just music with like a photo or something. But I've been listening to a lot of like dark wave, goth music on YouTube. And there was one DJ that like, it was a DJ dude, you know, doing his DJ thing. And then there was a chick there that was just dancing. And I was like, oh my God, do me and Michael need to do that? Because he plays synthesizers and he makes really cool music. He could like make the music and I could just be the dancing girl in the corner. So especially if one of your creative ideas right now has something to do with collaborating with the people in your life that you really love and you really like enhance your enjoyment of life, that you know that you can trust. Yeah, and this is just reinforcing that theme of like, there are people that you need to be like, dude, I can't handle your energy. And that doesn't mean that you're a bad person. Doesn't mean that I'm a bad person. I just can't handle your fucking energy. There are those people that you need to protect yourself from. And then there are the people that, like, if once you protect yourself from these people, it will leave you open to reinforcing the relationships that really matter, you know? Okay, so we have Eight of Wands. Again, put that shit out there. Get your creative juices flowing. They're already kind of flowing. Whatever that idea is that you have, fucking do it, bitch. High Priestess. Eight of Cups reversed. Seven of Pentacles. The last pile got Seven of Pentacles too. And Page of Swords. So this creative project might have something to do with, it might be a writing project. It could be, you know, just like a new podcast. Like the Page of Swords can be very much like, this is a person that speaks their mind. This is a person that communicates very well. So this is very, very throat chakra. So it could be a writing project. It could be a podcast project. It could be just, maybe you're thinking of starting a YouTube channel because you have some ideas that you want to share. You have some content that you've been looking for that isn't there. So you need to create it. There's a lack in this particular topic, and you're not finding what it is that you want to listen to as far as a podcast or a YouTube channel or whatever. You're not finding, like, the subject that you're really interested in right now, you're not seeing it. So therefore you have to make it happen. The world needs your voice. That's what this is saying. Because there are some like, you know, sacred secrets that you have not the answers to, but that you have some answers to. So, yeah, the world needs it. The world needs what's on your scroll. Don't tell them everything, but tell them some of the knowledge that you've gathered. I'm not sure what this Eight of Cups is here for. It being reversed. Does that mean... Okay, if you're thinking, okay, here we go. If you're thinking of blowing up your life, quitting your job, breaking up with someone, moving, if you're thinking about just like making a bunch of really rash changes all at once, because you really do have this sacred rage, you really do want this sort of like revenge resurrection, you want the people that you have moved away from to see how well you're doing, you know, all of that noise. This is especially paired with the Seven of Pentacles. Like, it's gonna take, just like, don't cut off the heads of everyone in your life that, like, you don't really want to spend more time with. You know, don't come at everyone with weapons swinging, with a bat swinging. You know, don't Harley Quinn this shit. You know, take it a little slow. Don't walk away from everything. Like, especially if you are someone that you want to quit your job, you want to break up with someone, you want to move, you want to do all of that shit at once. Some of those things might need to happen, but not all of them. You know, the Seven of Pentacles is like, hey, you know, like, take a step back and think about things. You know, don't prune everything just because your plants aren't growing the way that you want them to. Don't knock them all out. Or if you're a person like me, that every once in a while you're like lately I've been thinking, God, I never use Oracle decks. Maybe I just want to get rid of all of them. No, don't get rid of everything. At least give it a minute. Even if you sweep everything off the table and put it in a box, put it out of sight, out of mind for a certain amount of time before you decide to actually cut it out. Like, there are more things in your life that you resonate with, that need to be a part of your life, that are going to be helpful to you. There are more things like that than not. There are more people in your life that you want to... I just realized they're under like a glass. So this particular partnership is protected. And it's frozen in time. So there's, you know, there could be good and bad to view there, right? But not everything needs to be blown up. Not everything needs to be broken up with. Not everyone needs to be broken up with. Not everything in your life, like if you are, you know, drawn right now to decluttering, just don't declutter everything. You know, don't throw it all away. Or if you know that you're the type of person that can stress cull, I am definitely that person, you know, give yourself a minute before you actually expunge it from your house. Give yourself a minute. Sit with it. So, yes to all your creative projects. Do it. Do it. This is more bringing things to the world than taking things out of the world. You know, there's a little bit of protection that needs to happen. There's a little bit of like maybe somebody that you need to direct that sacred rage to, somebody that needs to be told off, you know? But this is more about nurturing the creativity, the fertility, and the connections that you have. It's more about that than actually cutting things out. It's more about grounding yourself and giving yourself the time to really think about what I actually need to cut out. I think this is more about bringing things to the world than cutting off from the world. This is a time of building things. So all of those creative ideas, just start doing them. You know, do it now. One of my like mottos of life is do it now, be ready later. Like step into the fray, start figuring it out. You'll know how to pivot when you get to that point. You'll know what you need to do to pivot, but just start. Just start that project that you have in your head. And later you'll figure out what needs to be done differently, or maybe you'll figure out, oh, that's not for me at all. Like, for example, I thought I wanted to be an actual in-person DJ, and I did like 3 or 4 different shows one year, and I found that is absolutely not for me. But at least I did it. At least I tried it, you know, and I knew pretty quickly, oh, this isn't for me. Like within, like after like the first or second show, I was like, yep, not for me at all. But I continued with the ones that I had committed to. And then I did not pursue that again. And that's just how it is. But you gotta do it. You gotta get in it before you know. You know? I think that this reinforces what I was saying too. It's more about sending things out than necessarily walking away from things. So that sort of stagnation that you're feeling, stagnant energy, apathy, whatever like disengagement with life that you've been feeling, use that sacred rage that you're in right now to create something. Yeah. I think that's your overall message. And hey, my camera didn't die. So cool. Okay. Thank you guys so much for watching. And I hope that these readings were a little bit helpful for you as far as like your transformations for this fall, and maybe some things to focus on, some things to take to your altar. And I am going to end by blowing out this candle. Or I wonder if I can do that clap thing.